An executive session was held prior to the work session to discuss personnel items. If we'll go over to the regular meeting agenda. Mrs. Wood, would you call meeting to order and a roll call, please?
Mrs. Cassatt?
Here.
Mr. Damascus?
Here.
Mr. Hardwick?
Present.
Mr. Camus?
Here.
Mr. Keating?
Here.
Mr. Majer? Mr. Perfetto?
Here.
Mr. Pazinski?
Here.
Mr. Usalit?
Here. Would you please stand for a moment of silence? Pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular March 9th meeting? Please,
So moved.
do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, student representatives comments.
7 o'clock.
Neither, give me a second, please. Neither Ben Bowen or Jacob Navraki are here. However, we do have the pleasure of seeing Mr. John McLaughlin.
Hello, everyone. I'm John McLaughlin, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Jake and Ben. The high school administration is pleased to announce the March Spartan Spotlight Seniors of the Month. This program recognizes distinguished students in the senior class. Students who are selected by the staff must exemplify academic excellence in addition to spirit, dedication, and character. These individuals have proven themselves devoted Spartans by participating in numerous sports, clubs, and activities throughout their careers at Wyoming Valley West High School, while also maintaining high academic standards. Students chosen for March were Aiden Hogan, Emma Kilgallen, Jacob Savage, and Connor Uter. Wyoming Valley West students competed in the Wilkes University IEEE 2022 Engineering Olympics. IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. Olympics in 3 events: mechanical, electrical, and environmental engineering. Each group was given a set of problems they had to solve using the engineering design process. Over the course of a week, the students succeeded in their solutions and presentations in all 3 areas. On April 8th, they presented their topics live to Wilkes University. Mrs. Gordon's team excelled in all 3 events. Wyoming Valley West High School had several students reach district and regional band, orchestra, and chorus festivals. Each festival was well represented by the 3 music groups, and throughout several auditions, one student placed high enough to go on to All-State Chorus at Kalahari Resorts this April. Chloe Orfanella went on to represent the Wyoming Valley West Chorus at this All-State Festival. This is the highest level for a musician. Congratulations to Chloe. Senior Logan Romanowski won first place in the Good Citizens Essay Contest sponsored by the Wyoming Valley chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. This award recognizes students who possess the qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism in their home schools and communities. The Around the World Club decorated the lobby in celebration of Ramadan. The Peer-to-Peer Club hosted an Easter egg hunt at the high school on Monday, April 11th. The orchestra traveled to their New York City trip today. The first meet of the unified track team took place today at the high school. Tickets are currently on sale for the senior trip to Hershey Park, and the cost is $55. On Friday, April 22nd, the ASVAB testing will be offered at the high school. Members of Student Council will be volunteering at the WVCA Walkathon on Saturday, April 23rd. A $250 bronze sponsorship donation was also made. On Tuesday, April 26th, the National Honor Society induction ceremony will be held at 6 o'clock in the high school gym. On Wednesday, April 27th, the high school band will be attending a trip to Virginia. AP testing begins on Monday, May 2nd. Friday, May 6th is an Act 80 day. The senior/junior prom will be held at the Woodlands on Friday, May 6th. And the SATs are being held at the high school on Saturday, May 7th. That is all.
Thank you very much. Nice presentation. Okay, superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Savage. Kindergarten registration is now underway and information is posted on the district website. Please note parents may register a child for kindergarten if the child is 5 years of age on or before September 1st, 2022. There are no exceptions. We would like to complete registration if possible by Friday, April the 29th, with kindergarten screenings scheduled for May. You will see from the website information, registration can be accessed online by visiting www.wvwsd.org. Spring recess begins tomorrow, April the 14th through Wednesday, April the 20th, with students and staff returning on Thursday, April the 21st. And final announcement, we'd like to ask the district to keep in their thoughts and prayers former Wyoming Valley West educator Thelma Bosch, who recently passed away. Thank you, Mr. Savage.
Thank you, Mr. Tosh. My favorite part, the statements from interested citizens. Citizens addressing the board are asked to state their name and town of residence in accordance with the board policy 903. A copy is available. Statements are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. My name is Kate Pokrifka, and I live in 43rd. And I have 3 kids at Dina Street. I just have 2 areas of concern. First is field trips. At the start of the school year, field trips were canceled. I'm wondering if that decision could be changed. The COVID situation is different now, and I think kids at the elementary level deserve field trips. For some of these kids, it'll be the only cool place they visit all year. Our PTO has raised the funds, and there's still a little bit of time left to plan. And finally, there's inconsistency with the trips anyway. My 3rd grader is allowed to take a trip to the circus because it's a class trip paid for out of an activity fund. And my 5th grader can't take a trip anywhere because it would be paid for by the PTO and considered a field trip. So I'm asking that consideration be given to allow field trips for all grades, and regardless of the decision, thank you for their time on that. Just one more issue is about the middle school. I've asked around teachers and substitutes, parents, students, and a school security guard. And the consensus is that the middle school is a problem. And the problem is a propensity for violence and a culture of disrespect among the student body. And judging by the seat of my 1st grader, also a tendency toward vandalism and vulgarity. It is so concerning to me that we enrolled our current 5th grader in Good Shepherd for next year. And my question is, what is the district's plan to change the situation in the middle school? And how long do you think it will take to see observable improvements there? I have 2 younger children in the district, a 1st grader and a 3rd grader, and also an infant. And it is my hope that these kids could attend the schools in the Wyoming Valley West School District for the duration of their education. But I'm not comfortable sending the kids to the middle school until things change. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate.
Mr. Tosh, could you?
Kate, I'm sorry, in terms of the field trips, we've opened the field trips up, but I do want to tell you, because I've had to tell 1 or 2 of the parents, the busing situation is a real challenge at this point, getting the field trips bused. But we have opened the field trips up ever since the mask mandate have gone away. We've given the okay with that. If there is a grade level that's not, I'll check with you after the break with it. And in terms of the security of the middle school, I think the fact that we have a full-time police officer from Kingston that was okayed is the first step in the right direction. I do think, and honestly, it's not an excuse, I've said this meeting after meeting. The lack of substitute teachers and having to put children in the auditorium because we're just so short-staffed as all districts are is a real detriment. But we will be meeting over the summer and we'll try and get as many positives in place to rectify the situation.
Thank you, Mr. Tosh.
Good evening, Wyoming Valley West School Board administrators. Tonight, I just had a couple little things I wanted to discuss. The first thing was the working sessions that you guys have started doing. So the second meeting that you have per month, I understand that you are posting them online via Skype. Are they also being recorded that you know of?
I thought they were, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because we didn't see it posted online yet. So we were just wondering if they are recorded, which I believe these meetings are recorded, if they could be recorded and made available prior to the regular board meetings. So that way members of the public can have an opportunity to review those work sessions prior to these meetings. Obviously, having a second meeting per month is hard for everybody to try to make, that want to participate and what's going on in the
It's
school.
hard for us too.
I know, that's what I mean. So if it's possible that you can have those recorded and posted, that would be great. The next thing was regarding the public comment section. So currently the public comment is prior to you casting votes during the meeting. Sometimes, when you guys are having deliberations on things that are up for vote, you guys may have some discussions and members of the public may have something they might want to chime in. So prior to casting your votes, would you be agreeable to offering an opportunity for member comments before actually casting those votes, specifically in cases where, there is some deliberation amongst the board?
What we're doing now is what I believe.
Because the agenda is available.
Agenda's available.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is, if things come up, so I'm not saying on a general day where, you guys just are casting your votes and we have it available. What I'm saying is sometimes there is some, deliberation amongst the board. For example, the day when there was discussion about having a resource officer for the school district. And there was some discussion amongst the board. But again, this was after the public comment section. So there may have been, something that a member of the public may want to chime in at that time before you cast the vote. So I'm just asking if there is deliberations amongst the board, if you would be agreeable to allowing or at least offering the comment section again to the public.
I'm not personally comfortable with that, no.
Okay. Is there a reason why?
So I have to deliberate with my colleagues, let alone try to deliberate with the public. That's why you're afforded it before the meeting. So if you want to bring your concerns to us, I can think about it before I vote on it. That's how I feel.
Right, I appreciate that.
It was also part of the reason that I had asked if we could do work sessions on a different day than the voting session. So work sessions would contain more dialogue, deliberation about topics, then public comment being first at vote session. If I'm correct, Mr. Solicitor, we can't vary from this agenda.
So, there's a process to vary from the agenda, but typically you're not going to be varying on large scale issues.
Okay, so our deliberations during work session would then provide an opportunity at the next public comment, which would be the voting session. So you should have a week between those two where we've discussed items and then we'll vote on them in the following week. And maybe that helps you have that opportunity.
Right, I think that's probably a good way of looking at it, because previously the work sessions were basically
Yes.
mixed in with this. So I think that may help with that moving forward. So I appreciate that. And then the last thing was just a follow-up to something I brought up at the last meeting regarding the meeting minutes. So as I did send an email to the board regarding there's a part in the PA Sunshine Law regarding the meeting minutes need to include the subject of testimony of anybody that from the public that speaks. So I'm just asking that if that could be included in the publicly available meeting minutes. I understand that they're already currently being written, so I'm just asking if that could be made publicly available. My thought process for requesting this is if there's members of the public that may see the meeting minutes, they may say, oh, okay, people from the public are bringing up X, Y, and Z. It may encourage other people in the public to come to these meetings. And obviously, this is a very important part of our community, and more people need to be coming. And I think if people see that people are showing up to these meetings and they're offering their suggestions or concerns, that it would only be for the benefit of everyone. So I know a lot of other school districts already do this locally, so I just wasn't sure if there was if this is something that can happen or if there's some opposition to that.
So the
Because the meeting, the minutes posted before.
Public comment on the meeting.
Yeah, you guys, that's up to you guys if you want to add in public comment, right? The minimum requirement is noting that public comments occur, which is what you're doing. To add in, like, I think what Mr. Baldwin is saying is, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so Mr. Baldwin, if I'm incorrect, Mr. Baldwin wants you to put into your minutes that Mr. Baldwin spoke and that he spoke about X, Y, and Z topics at your meeting. Is that what you're asking?
Kind of, just basically just asking that the minutes that are already created under the Sunshine Law just be made public, because a lot of other districts are already doing that. It's just, I'm just not sure why this district isn't doing it.
Right, am I correct? Prior to us?
Yeah, so the
tonight, you
yes,
want
exactly.
meetings, the minutes from last.
Yeah, just
prior
exactly,
to
exactly.
tonight.
Sorry, different.
That's what I'm sorry, I was on a different
They
page. too.
misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
So, yeah, that's up to the school board, so on what they want to do. Right?
Again, like I said, it's something that a lot of other districts are already doing, and it's something that is already being done. It's just if someone were to want to see what the public was actually commenting on, they would have to do a right to know request. And it just seems that it would be, it would only be beneficial to the public to know what members of the public are actually bringing up to board meetings.
I just don't understand. Please, anybody, at large, if you can, we would have to vote on those minutes prior to this meeting.
I think Mr. Baldwin wants them to be available before they're voted and approved.
Then they're not official.
You're right.
So, yeah, I mean, yes. That's what it comes down to, and that's up to you guys of if you want it out there. So, yeah, the concern could be that, minutes may be changed because someone raises or requests their change at the public meeting because they don't match up with what they recall. But, if you have them typed up that are being approved here tonight, I think Mr. Baldwin's saying, what's the harm in putting them out there with the agenda? Is that accurate?
Yes,
I guess it's something we could definitely discuss in our next work session.
I appreciate that. And maybe even consult with other districts. I mean, I'm sure you have contacts at other districts and how they do it, but I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Wendy Hand. I live in Edwardsville, and I have 2 children in the district. And I want to just start off by saying that I'm not someone who grew up in this town, this area. I didn't go to school here. But with that being said, I do appreciate what you do because I'm sure it's not easy. So I want you to know that as I stand here and I bring something to you, I don't want you to take it as me being combative or anything like that. I'm hoping that we can work together. I have a daughter who plays softball, and as a former coach with the district, I actually helped coach the swim team for 3 seasons. I'm a little bit disappointed with the facilities, in particular the softball field, of course. If I was still the swim coach, I would bring up the pool, but I'm not going to do that. So again, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm just a little bit disappointed in the facilities. I think that the girls' softball field is very unkept, especially compared to the boys' facilities. And I'm certainly not a lawyer, but I've done some reading about Title IX, and I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that the girls' facilities are not equal to the boys' facilities. For example, we don't have dugouts. We're the only school that we play that doesn't have dugouts for our girls. It's a little bit embarrassing, actually. We also have a field that has not been rolled, and the season has already started. So that also disappoints me a little bit. We've actually had parents offer to roll it themselves, which I don't think should be happening when we have facilities people who are hired by the district to do that. I can tell you last year, a girl from another team at another school had suffered a broken nose, probably because of the ruts that are in our field. So I'm just wondering if there's any way that we can address this. I was told that under the previous athletic director that there was actually a proposed plan to have the West Side Tech students build dugouts for the girls' team, and apparently there were plans made. This was what I was told, so I might be wrong on this, but I just want to bring it to your attention that apparently that was discussed in the past and there were actual plans drawn up, but they were never used. So I don't know if that's a possibility, because I know money is probably a problem, but I don't want that to be the excuse for them to not have the same opportunities as the boys. And I've seen the boys' facilities, and it really does upset me as a mother of daughters that my girls don't have the same things as the boys. So just really quickly, I just want to read part of Title IX. It says Title IX requires equal treatment of female and male student athletes in the provisions of A, equipment and supplies, B, scheduling of games and practice times, C, travel and daily allowance per diem, and D, access to tutoring, coaching, locker rooms, practice, and competitive facilities. So we are in violation of Title IX in our current situation. So lastly, I do want you to know that I also did email Mr. Gill. I know him because, again, I was a coach and I feel we have a good relationship. He told me that he was going to talk to you. I don't know if he did, but I haven't received a response from him. So that's why I'm here today. So I appreciate your time and consideration, and I hope we can do something about that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Hand.
Good evening, Amy Carosa from 44. I really didn't have anything to talk about tonight, but I wanted to say I appreciated the agenda out ahead of time, and I was just looking over the things that you are going to be approving, and I love that you gave the supporting documentation the night before, because it gives the public a chance to review, and I'm loving that the work session is going to be a week ahead of time too, so we can get more additional information that way. But as I was going through the supporting documentation today, I noticed that numbers 8, 9, and 10 that you're approving tonight, there wasn't anything to go with it. So maybe there's a reason for it, but if the public was supposed to comment on the agenda items, I don't know what 8, 9, and 10, what those agreements have to do with. So maybe there's a reason, or if someone could just give like a brief synopsis of what those agreements pertain to, that would help.
Those are the case, do you want me to, yeah. Those are agreements regarding resolution of disputes over special education. So for confidentiality and student record information, we can't release the background information on that.
Oh, for either of, I mean, all three of them? You mean?
Yeah. all three of
Oh,
those
okay.
deal with-
Maybe we could just put like a note sometime, then I wouldn't even have to bother with your time.
That's why it's referenced as file number.
Oh, so file number would be like a confidentiality thing.
And you see that those are like student, yeah, they're record numbers for us to identify, but so that the public can identify or know that information. You know that we're approving it, but not the
detail.
Not the individuals involved.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, well, thanks.
Good evening, Beth Marachko. How are we all tonight? Just to follow up on what Amy was saying, I understand that that's all confidential, and this time it seems to appear that it is for educational purposes, but going forward, is these approvals that are confidential, are they all going to be towards education, or are we going to start flipping in financial stuff into that?
Oh, gosh, I don't think that was, that, why would we do that?
Well, we just want to make sure that
Oh,
we're
no,
all
I'm
on,
just
we're all on the
asking.
same board, that's
I
all.
thought-
That
I
was
just-
just something I want to make sure confidential doesn't become
No.
unpublic.
No, we won't do that.
Because it's Holy Week, I didn't want to be nasty or assume that I was nasty, but I did bring my stuff for my right to knows that I gave you 2 months ago. Some of them were respond, some weren't, which I will probably resubmit again, and then I might follow through on those, because the ones that were denied should have been easily answered. Actually, I probably could get online and find those answers myself. So it was kind of a test to see how honest you were. Honesty is going to be something that's going to make the community trust you again. Because right now, nobody trusts anybody in the government, local. In order to make our community work, we have to trust each other that everybody's going to do what's right for our kids. You are our last door of protection of our children. Mothers are going to protect their children. Fathers are going to protect their children. We see what's happening in Disney. We see what the public is calling them, groomers. I want to know the battle lines being drawn. Either it's good or it's wrong. Right, wrong. Are you going to be on the right side of the children protection? Because this grooming is in our SEL. It's not social equity learning, it's sexual. You're going to be doing sexual classes. We see it in California. We see it in New Jersey. It's coming here. Are you going to have the backbone to stand up and say, not in this district? Are you going to protect our little girls? Are you going to protect our little boys? There's only 2 sexes. God created them. This is Holy Week. At least we can admit. At least we can admit. God doesn't make mistakes. Man makes mistakes. I just want to remind you, Sunday, Easter Day, death was beaten, evil was beaten. I already know I'm on the winning side of beating evil. What side are you on? Just to remind you, I do have insurance bonds and oaths of offices. I am prepared to do what I need to do to make you held accountable and protect our kids.
She has what? What did she have? I thought she said bonds.
No, bond. You can't say.
I thought that's what she said. What did she say? Bonds. She said insurance.
Is that it? Anybody else? Oh.
Hi, my name is Melissa from Swarsville. We read in the newspaper the other day that there's a $4.2 million shortfall, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on that, considering we just got $24.5 million in COVID money.
I could tell you that there's a budget shortfall of $4.2 million right now. Simply put, the revenues, which include a projected tax increase for next year, don't meet the expenses. The gap is 4.2 million. But the federal money that you're talking about is earmarked and must be used for specific projects that's not included in the budget. That's
So
complete.
what is the $4.2 million shortfall? What do we need to use it for? Where is the money?
We're in the process right now of identifying that. That was a big part of what was discussed in the executive session this evening. The superintendent, the administration, they're working on providing us with cost savings to eat into that, and we're going to be meeting publicly. There'll be budget hearings or possibly meetings before we get into budgeting to discuss these matters in further detail.
I don't see how we have a shortfall though, when you weren't expecting almost $25 million in COVID money. So that is kind of like winning the lottery, but now we have a shortfall. We should have a surplus, considering we saved money a year with nobody being in school. No, like, I don't understand how we have a shortfall of $4.2 million. A lot of people don't even know that we got almost $25 million because we're always so secretive about money.
But a lot of that money that you're talking about can't be used to offset direct costs that are appropriated in the budget. They
But
must.
we also went over what you are supposed to use the money for, like ventilation and stuff, and you use like a little humidifier in the nurse's office and so on and so forth. Like, you're not even spending the $25 million like to truly take care of the students and the schools.
First of all, we haven't not even been approved for ESSER's 3 yet. And that's
So
where
so
there's 14.
more than
No,
$25 million
no,
coming in?
No. That's the grand total from ESSER's 1, 2, and 3.
But you are gonna get the money.
We need-
All the schools are approved
But
for
this
it.
is earmarked for specific purposes that is COVID related, not for salaries or benefits or paying light bills.
Right.
It's specific items that have to be paid.
But the $4.2 million, is that all the raises that everybody got to follow the COVID, the COVID protocol of, just like I said that you guys had to do in order to get the money, and I was told I was lying, which it all came true. But now that we're auditing everything, now we're saying, oh, there's a $4.2 million shortfall. Hurry up, get it out there, push it underneath the rug.
No, we're not
I actually
shoving
think
anything
it's
under
just
the
the
rug.
opposite. There's nothing being pushed under the rug. These are things we're finding out about and we're shedding light on them. There's nothing being.
We should not have a shortfall, though. We should have a surplus, a $25 million surplus.
Ma'am, I
No.
don't think you are listening to that 25 million, the ESSER's money they're talked about had to be used for specific items, not the general budget. So they're two different buckets, very different buckets. So we're trying to figure out both buckets. As Mr. Keating said, there will be meetings to discuss it in much greater detail, but
Is it going to be open to the public? Are we going to be involved in those meetings? Considering our children are the ones that got the COVID money for the schools?
It happened before COVID, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this just didn't happen overnight, this shortfall.
No, but you're saying that you're gonna discuss the COVID money and the shortfall, the $4.2 million shortage. Like, are you gonna do it behind closed doors? Or are you gonna do it in the public?
We can't vote on a budget behind closed doors. The budget hearings, the work sessions, the meetings will all be public. The public will have the right to comment on all of the readings of the budget, and the public will know prior to us even having a budget together, the reasoning behind why the budgeting figures are disclosed as is.
And when are we gonna release what we are using the $25 million on?
First
Because
of
we
all,
only got, I saw
we
like
don't,
otter boxes, which I
you
never
don't
saw one
understand.
student
We're
with otter
not,
boxes.
we did not get approved yet for ESSER's 3, which is like 14 point some million dollars. That has not been approved by PDE. Secondly, we put that on the website last time, because I even gave you a copy of the information,
And it was only like a
because that's where we
$3
were.
million.
Because we don't get a lump sum from PDE. ESSER's 2 is spread out over 3.5 years. I'm not even sure how long, I'm sorry, ESSER's 2. I don't know how long ESSER's 3 is going to be. We don't get a lump sum. We only get so much per month.
Right, but you are getting the $25 million.
No,
You
it
might-
hasn't. It hasn't.
Yes, yes.
No, the 14 has not yet been approved.
It is approved. You actually confirmed that at the last meeting. Did they not confirm that you were getting the $24 million at the last meeting?
Excuse me, what, can I ask you a question? What do you, where do you think that money went?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I
Because
can't-
I mean, we only saw, the kids have like, okay, you bought the kids $100 tablet, okay? $100 tablet. That's pretty much what the kids got out of the $25 million is a $100 tablet. When I asked how we did it with the ventilation systems, I was told we put 2 mini ventilation, like air circulators in the nurses' stations. So how much is your write-off on that one?
You're being serious?
I'm being serious. Yeah, that's exactly what we were told.
Mr. Rivera, can I ask you a question? Did we only spend for 2 of those, whatever you call those little heaters? Yes.
Oh,
Well, we bought many other things through us. And in essence, we haven't even received the answers quite yet. But we do have a plan to use 80% of that money for construction in the district and 20% for Lost Garden. We have not received all that money yet, and have not received any of the money for us.
he just confirmed what I said.
What did he confirm?
You
Please.
just listened to 2 seconds of his comments and not the other 80% of the stuff.
That's what you guys do to us, right? Is that
What
what
did
you
he?
guys,
Am I
right?
can't even, yeah.
Huh?
Please tell me what he confirmed.
He just said we put 2 mini air purifiers in nurses' stations.
And then
One
your
got
ears- and
1,
then your
maybe
ears
1
closed.
got 2. And we are slated to receive almost $25 million. You might not have the money today, but you will have the whole amount.
We put all new air handlers in the gym in this building.
You put it all new what?
The air system in this gym was, I think.
Are we putting air
What was it,
conditioners in all the buildings?
$167,000, Frank?
We put them at the gymnasium, boys and girls gym of this building, we have 2 new roof balconies. That's basically all we use that investors do money so far, because we are building a project right now to do work at the high school with the investors do money. We're working on that project.
And what about with AC units and everything? Are we gonna update them? Because we have leaking going on in Dana Street. That's been going on for like, I don't know, 11 years now.
Okay, well, we obviously can't answer your questions to your
Okay,
Perfect.
just remember, we're watching.
thank, Thank you very much.
All right, any other comments from interested citizens? Yeah, I think you have one coming up from the back. Are you coming up to speak, ma'am? It's okay, just go up to the podium.
I come to you today. My name is Jennifer. I live in Plymouth,
Could you
Clarksville.
speak closer to the microphone? I'm sorry.
My name is Jennifer. I live in Plymouth, Plymouth Township, Larksville, and my property borders Jackson Township. I am sure you are all very familiar with my road, Keating Street. Are we? Anybody? Okay. So let me introduce you to this letter. I've been a resident here for 2 years. My children were enrolled through your district, given copies of my utility bills. I received a letter the other day stating, as per our home and school visitor and information that has been provided to the district, your residency has been confirmed to be outside the borders of Wyoming Valley West School District. Due to this information, you must make immediate arrangements to enroll in the Nanticoke Area School District. As of 4/13, your children will no longer be eligible to attend Wyoming Valley West and are expected to be in attendance at Nanticoke Area School District. Your child's records may be forwarded to their district as of that date as well. In the event you feel this discussion has been made in error, or if you feel like to discuss tuition, now mind you, there's 5 weeks left of this school year. And I'm trying very, very hard to contain myself.
Gotta speak
Because
up.
you're dealing with 3 special needs children. One suffers from severe depression, was at the point of suicidal tendencies not 4 months ago due to actions of other students within your school. He was threatened with a knife in your bathrooms. And when I was asked, how did they get the knife in? I said, I don't know, maybe the same way they get those vapes in. That is not my job as a parent. I pat down my children when they leave to do my job accordingly, to make sure that my children do not bring things they are not supposed to into your school. That's first of all. He was happy. He has amazing teachers in that school district. Ms. Weedman, Mr. Zlotek, Ms. Smith, they have all worked to bring that boy out of depression. He is finally bragging to people, I am on the verge of honor roll for the first time in his academic career. You know what he said when he saw your letter? All of this shit for nothing. They don't want me. Why does it fucking matter?
Excuse me, could you either settle down or?
I'm sorry, if it were your child, would you be rational?
I would be rational enough to not use that language.
Okay, and that's fine. I will censor my language.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My second child, now this one, he attends State Street. Now I will admit full-heartedly, none of my boys are peaches by any means. They're boys, they're farm kids. My son will sit there and tell you the anatomy of a heart and where his sister's heart defect is due to our hunting. We have a small farm. We have a donkey, we have chickens. We had goats up until COVID, and I could no longer care for them. My children are farm kids. They're wild, they run around, they play. Now here we are 5 weeks before the end of school. My son, my 8-year-old, is finally overcoming racial issues within your school. He's finally getting to the point where he wants to come to school the majority of days. He comes in, he's very happy to go and see Ms. Butz. He's very happy to go and see Ms. Danny from SBBH. He has formed a bond with these people. And now, 5 weeks before school, I had to explain to my children, I'm sorry, even though you're settled, you have to go to a new school. Because someone 2 years ago failed to realize that we live on a quadrant. And this also backs up to when I contacted Nanacoke. Nanacoke Transportation Advisor tells me that the closest bus stop is all the way over on West Mountain Road. My children are within a half hour's walking distance of your schools. I have walked my 5 and 8-year-old to school. My 16-year-old has rode his bike in an attempt to improve his attendance this year. My 15-year-old attends the Graham Academy for autistic children. His mindset on a good day is probably about an 8-year-old. What this means for him is that he is going to be pulled temporarily from that program as they try and convince me that Nanacoke has a wonderful program and that I should go with them, just as Wyoming Valley West did. And I had to say, I'm sorry, he's attended here since 1st grade. He will not be changing. Then it becomes the funding shuffle. So we're at about a week and a half that he misses. And if any of you have experience with an autistic child, that can be very detrimental. This is absolutely deplorable. In 26 years, the head of transportation at Nanacoke has not picked up one child from 236 Keating Street, which is directly across from the Screwy Moose. There is no bus stop in the vicinity. That is not my doing. My doing was moving to Plymouth, a town where I go and I came as a child, as a teenager. I'd go and I'd meet my friends at what's now Hometown Market. We would go cruise around the Ave. We'd go watch a movie where there's now, I think it's a doctor's office. I wanted quiet. I wanted farm. I wanted respect. I absolutely did not expect this from a room of adults when it comes down to children. My big thing, there's 5 weeks left. I was told absolutely not, unless I wanted to pay tuition. Can any of you please explain to me what tuition would be on four children and explain to the others what I was told? Enlighten them. $10,000 a child. Now, where people fail to look at the woman on the mountain, though I may come in and I may smell like a barn, I may have a mouth on me. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran's daughter. I should have been a sailor. But you know what? I don't care. When it comes to anybody's children, that is our passion. And as a school, you tote that as your passion. Can you please tell me in your policies to where it says former residents, regularly enrolled children whose parents, guardians have moved out of the district. Now, mind you, these parameters were set by your district, may be permitted to finish school year without payment of tuition, provided that the parents, guardians move from the district. Now, mind you, this is across my driveway, literally. Left side is Larksville, right side is the township. Move from the district after April 1st of the school year, or the parent or the student is in the 12th grade and the parents, guardians move from the district after the start of the spring semester. Now, I'm at the point, I am beyond, again, I'm trying very. I've been my children's advocate since day one. Give them at least the last 5 weeks of school.
Ma'am, excuse me. Did you have your turn? Did you have it try?
It's fine, because I also do have an attorney out of Clark Summit. And if it is not fixed, all of this, as well as my children's IEPs, their evaluations, and any actions taken by this board tonight will be taken to an attorney, as well as.
Oh, relax, man.
Ma'am, can you allow me to give me till Friday and I could give you a call?
I'm sorry, sir, you have had a week and a half. This letter was dated 4/4. We are now on what, the 7th, the 13th? 10 days.
Ma'am, I can't.
And it was sent home with my children. I wasn't even given the honor of a telephone call explaining such actions from the board.
I can't think of where Keating Street's at.
If you were at Screwy Moose, the old lower end pizza,
Yes.
okay? You make that right. Up past the landfill, our driveway is a mile up. My nearest neighbor is a mile away. My children live on 30 acres.
Ma'am, let me call you tomorrow on this, please. Let me call you on it tomorrow. I promise I'll call you. Let us talk. Let me see what we can do with it. I promise you I'll look into it and we'll do what's best for you. Please,
It's not about what's best for me.
your children.
It is
Your
what's best
children.
for them.
Your children. Just give me tomorrow. Before you leave, can I meet you just to get a number?
That's not a problem.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Are there any other interested citizens? No. Okay.
Ma'am, may that letter, can I ask you what the address is on that letter, just out of curiosity? Is there an address on it? Yes, ma'am. So when you pay your school taxes, do you pay them, do you pay them at the Plymouth office or the Larksville office? Pardon?
She rents.
Thank you.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's see for it. This is the meeting on this.
All right.
Oh.
Looking at general recommended action, is there anyone on the board that has any questions regarding items 1 through 12?
Ms. Wood, are there only 12 items on the general recommended action?
13.
Ms. Wood, could you share your binder with Mr. Usatis?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I apologize. That's items 1 through 13. Any questions? No. Mrs. Wood, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Wood will take a roll call.
Mrs. Cassatt,
Yes.
Mr. Damascus,
Yes.
Mr. Hardwick,
Yes.
Mr. Camus,
Yes.
Mr. Keating,
Yes.
Mr. Perfetto,
Yes.
Mr. Pazinski.
Yes.
Mr. Youssef.
Yes. All right, under staff recommended action, I need a motion.
So
for-
moved.
Second.
Thank you very much. Items 1 through 15. Thank you. All right. This is what,
Mrs. Cassatt,
Yes.
Mr. Damascus,
Yes.
Mr. Hardwick,
Yes.
Mr. Camus,
Yes.
Mr. Keating,
Yes.
Mr. Perfetto,
Yes.
Mr. Pazinski.
Yes.
Mr. Youssef.
yes. Finance recommended action. Let me read that for you. Accept and approve the following as presented: bills for payment, finance manager's reports, and treasurer's reports. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mrs. Wood, would you call the roll?
Mrs. Cassatt,
Yes.
Mr. Damascus,
Yes.
Mr. Hardwick,
Yes.
Mr. Kamis,
Yes.
Mr. Keating,
Yes.
Mr. Profetto,
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Yusevic.
Yes. Number 10, board members' comments. Anybody have any comments? Nobody? Next scheduled meeting will be the work session will be on May 4th, 2022. Regular May meeting will be May 11th, 2022. Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
So moved.